Okay, so as the days go by, I'm genuinely getting more and more scared for this girl who supposedly is meant to be Marlow. Most people who have followed and been included in this Marlow cheating and identity drama are all basically saying that there's almost no chance that this is actually Marlow. I made a video talking about it yesterday, and today the YouTuber Swight, who's very involved in this entire drama, dropped a video exposing even more stuff about Marlow with such rock solid proof that it genuinely scares me. Swight basically said that Marlow's handcam video and her fighting Swight was entirely staged and not real, and this happened with Marlow fighting multiple people, more specifically her fights with Golem, Vivikai, and Swight, as I said before. And I know this is kind of confusing, but basically these fights actually did happen legitimately, but what Marlow did was she recreated these fights artificially and showed those instead of the real ones. And the reason she apparently went through all this hassle is due to how blatant she would probably look from her POV. Now, the reason Swight even realized all of this is because in Marlow's new response, she talked about and admitted to her montages being heavily staged.
The truth is, almost every montage on my channel is heavily staged. And by that, I mean the majority of clips are scenarios that I replay a few times to create more variety in the montage.
And after seeing this, Swight looked into more important fights and the possibilities of Marlow staging them as well. And the reason Swight realized that her faking these fights was real was due to the logs not matching up entirely. I'll let him briefly explain.
If you didn't know, every time you load up Minecraft, from the moment you click play to the moment you close your game, it records something in a text document called logs. These logs record important information, such as messages being sent in chat and the time they were sent in chat. Now, fortunately, MCPvP has a system where at the end of the duel, a message is sent in chat giving data such as their health, the score, and the amount of pots. And because it is sent in chat, these are also recorded in your logs that you can look back upon. Now, I'm going to put on screen some of the chat messages from Marlow's POV of her fight with Golem. She used this in her Hacking is Bad video with handcam to prove she's legit. And I'm going to show what Golem's log says about it. Yes, as you can see, literally none of the health counters line up correctly. But that isn't even all of it. Here's the pot counter in the video, and you can see the real one in the logs. Additionally, the time of the rounds didn't line up at all either. Also, this isn't something that the server could mess up, because the server would have sent the same incorrect message to both, but it just happened to send only to Marlow. I also tried checking if any of my past videos had somehow messed up in the logs, and I couldn't find anything.
And this basically was the case for all of the fights that were mentioned. Marlow's handcam fights with Golem, her fighting Swight and Vivikai. The same log inconsistencies happened across all of these fights. And then Swight went to pile even more evidence on top of everything.
Let me tell you something that's undeniable. I went back to my DMs with Marlow on the day we did our pod test, and I found something really interesting. She mentions how my helmet broke during the fight, and I vividly remember this happening in our test also. However, if you go through the fight that was posted in Marlow's channel, you can see at no point did my helmet ever break in her recreation.
It's the type of proof that can't really be disproven unless Marlow drops her footage of these fights, which just won't happen, because if she had to create fake recreations of these fights, there's no actual chance of her releasing the actual footage, because as I said, it would probably be too blatant. Swight's video is one of the most rock solid proof and evidence we have yet when it comes to Marlow very blatantly lying and trying to cover up cheats. Like, it's so bad that she can't even show her POV of these fights. She has to fake them to look more legit in her handcam video, which is just insane. Now, as you might already know, both Swight and Dr. Donut have agreed to 1v1 Marlow in real life, because it's one of the best ways to prove that not only Marlow is legit, but that she also is the girl shown in the video, because that also is a massive thing people are still wondering. Marlow's newest response video was genuinely so bad that there isn't even much clarification on all of the allegations besides a few things, like her admitting to using an AI voice and her admitting to staging montages. We don't even have any real evidence that the girl shown in the video is Marlow, and with Swight releasing even more proof, I'm not even gonna lie when I say that I'm kinda concerned for her. I think Marlow's response video is meant to be this last stand where it's either everyone thinking that she's innocent or everyone not buying it at all by the end of it. And as we see, not many people are buying this response at all. Reef1 made a video before Marlow's response, and I found this one part interesting where he laid out almost all of the things Marlow needs to address in her response for her response to even be slightly believable.
Here's what needs to be mentioned in their new video. The aim assist allegations, the macro allegations, the hotbar skip allegations, the scamming jackpot MC allegations. They need to explain why they stopped Rapture extra large fries from being banned. They need to explain why Rapture is not high to excel, given the already existing evidence we have. They need to explain how the DMs were faked, if 5 out of 5 of their own tier list admins confirmed them to be real, and why 3 of them subsequently resigned when Marlow would not be banned. They need to explain how the DMs knew about their mouse software years in advance. They need to explain how the DMs mentioned their name change to Marlow hours before it happened. They need to explain how the DMs knew about the puzzle metaphor that they sent to Flame Frags. They need to explain why they joined a Discord server 5 minutes after Danger Mario asked them to recruit, how the DMs accurately predicted their entire community activity years in advance, how the DMs had access to thumbnails, video plans, and other details before they were released, how the DMs contained their word-for-word video intro scripts before the video was released, how the DMs knew about the AI voice months before it was publicly known, why they lied about using an AI voice, why they lied about a storm cutting their Wi-Fi off, why they were unable to change pitch in a call with their own admins, how the DMs perfectly recreated their speaking style down to even specific details like their enjoyment of Cheerios and pseudo-intellectual mannerisms, how the DMs had access to non-public screenshots from their point of view, how the DMs knew about their ADHD diagnosis before it was public, and how the DMs referenced Dr. Donut's private $20,000 offer to buy the tier list. Remember, Evil Overlord, the individual Marlow assigned to defend her in all of my correspondence with her, and the individual shown in my previous videos, was one of the admins who verified the Telegram DMs are real. Think about it for a second. The tier list admins only stand to benefit from Marlow being vindicated, yet they all confirmed the legitimacy of the accusations in Telegram DMs.
Now, I did watch Marlow's 3-hour-long response video, but I can't lie, I zoned out many times. So for the people who have watched all of what Marlow had to say, how many of the things Refund mentioned did Marlow actually cover and debunk? Because that was a hefty amount of stuff Refund asked, and I don't think Marlow covered even 10% of it. And who in the hell is this girl is another question. Dr. Donut asked her to 1v1 IRL when he reacted to Marlow's response, but I don't think that will ever happen.
Or dear Marlow, if this is Marlow, if this is you, do you want to 1v1 me in real life? I mean, you requested to meet up with people in real life. And you said you really want to meet up with people. Why don't me and you meet up and we 1v1? I'm gonna get smoked in every game mode, right? How about this? I'll fly anywhere you want me to. You don't even have to go anywhere. I'll go to your hotel. I'll buy the computers. I'll do everything. Let's 1v1. You know what? I'll give you money. If you can beat me in any game, if this girl can beat me in any game mode, live streamed, then I will give you $25,000. You don't have to put anything on the line. If that's a deal, then let's do it. Let's do it. You're gonna cook me in every game mode because Marlow's the best PvPer, right? Let's set up new PCs. Let's do it. $25,000 to your pocket if you do this. Why would you not? I promise you, this girl's not gonna do it. It's just the fight's never gonna happen. I'll fly to you tomorrow and do this. I'm so confident that this is not Marlow. The voice changed. It's just so unlikely that the best PvPer is so much better than everybody else. All the evidence of the Discord messages going back to 2018. How could somebody have been plotting against you since 2018? That just is just the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
Now, besides Marlow meeting up with either Swight or Dr. Donut and proving her legitimacy that way, I don't see anything that Marlow could say that would help her in any way. But yeah, what do you think?